BMW 640D, but not just any 640D even. This one is somewhat special. And it's these two words that say it all, the Gran Coupe. What does Gran Coupe actually mean in BMW speak? For one thing, it means doors with frameless windows, giving you that open coupe effect. The second factor is, of course, the incredibly low, sleek lines, the two-door, four-door coupe conundrum, mixture of different aspects of this a very long, just under 5 meter long, almost limo type car. And when you see the inside, you'll understand why I describe it as almost a limo type vehicle. That long shark's nose, as they call it, with, of course, the classic BMW kidney grills at the front. Gives you that really mean aspect to the car as well. Especially imagine seeing this in your rear view mirror on the highway. Coming around to a 460 litre boot, really big, enough for a family, definitely for 4 to travel on a good holiday. And let's talk the car itself, because the 640 diesel has the 3 litre bi-turbo V6 engine, putting out 230 kilowatts, 630 newton meters of torque. And you can see a long list of standard equipment and optional equipment as well on this car that it has. The standard price, the list price of this car is 1.22 million, and it's about 1.45 million as we're driving it now, if you take the optional extras into account on this car, and there are some pretty special extras as well. Of course, BMW 5-year 100,000 motor plan is included in the price as always. Inside the 640 Gran Coupe, what a place to be. You have so many special extras and special items, because this really is a luxury car. You have your multifunction steering wheel, which is a classic BMW multifunction steering wheel. It has all the buttons. It has the pedals behind the wheel if you want to use them as well. Of course, your instrumentation, which has some amazing little tricks to instrumentation. If you have a look, we are currently in Comfort Plus in the BMW multi-mode transmission system. But look at this. I press a button, which we'll show you shortly, but look at the result of pressing a button and taking it into Eco Pro mode. Notice how the coloring on the dashboard changes slightly to that soft blue, and you get what I term the guilt meter. The rev counter goes away, and you get the efficient dynamic, efficient driving meter instead. And look at that, as you press the accelerator, I'm sure you can hear the engine. Note, it makes you feel bad because it's telling you that you're using too much power, but it's there for efficient driving if you wish to use it. Moving across, of course, to the center, and one of the cruxes of BMW being, look at the size of the screen. There is no question, there is no doubt that it is an amazing infotainment system, infotainment screen. And at the press of a button, you can go into vehicle information, for example. And if you look on this side over here, you will see that I have managed in 450 kilometers to average 12.4 kilometers per litre, using the power of this car on occasions, using the multi-mode transmission, and enjoying and still achieving this amazing power from BMW's diesel engine. You come down to, of course, the multi-zone air conditioning, climate control, and this is actually 4-zone because you have independent controls for the back seats as well. So it really comes in and proves where you're spending your money and where you get your luxury. You come down again and you come to the multi-mode, the computerized controller over here. They have the wheel, which you can turn or simply press to move screens, and you simply go to menu over here, and if you go back up, you can see you can scroll through various functions and settings of what you may want to use. For example, at the press of a button, you bring up your navigation system, and another press, and there's your map of where we currently are. Very, very simple to use, except I'm going to mention something about the system, and that is, first of all, for right-handed people in right-hand drive, well, you've got to use your left hand to operate this. And my second issue that I have picked up with the car during a week of driving it is too close to your front seat passenger. And on a number of occasions, front seat passengers have knocked the controller, the iDrive controller, and have affected the setting on the computer while driving. Just a little point in a car that maybe has so many things right. Ergonomics do come into it. You come to your gear shift, of course, over here. The standard BMW shift, which you simply press on here, push over there, and you go into reverse, which activates a reverse camera automatically. Your electronic parking brake below it. And then over here to the right is the multi-mode switch for the transmission. I showed you Eco Pro, there's Comfort Plus, there is Comfort, Sport, and even Sport Plus. And as you scroll through and you press the button to move up, you will actually see how it changes the modes on the screen to show you which mode you're in. That's Comfort Plus. You move up to Comfort, look at Sport. It shows you how it changes settings in the transmission, of course, even in the suspension settings, etc., to actually show you that. And then you go into the mean mode, of course, Sport Plus, and you click up and it shows you you're in dynamic mode and everything, and it just gives you the whole system, and even switches out certain electronic nannies when you go to Sport Plus if you're in the mood for really playing and having a good time with a car. Just all over you can see luxury. Let's take a look at what life is like in the back seat of a car like this. Moving into the back, it's designed for 2 in the back, not 3, although you can put a third person, but it's not really a comfortable place to be. Headroom is more than adequate considering the extremely low roof line of the coupe style. They still make sure that you are comfortable and that there is enough space. Legroom, more than adequate for myself, with a seat set for me, and you can see just the way, the sheer comfort, the sheer luxury you have. I mentioned the separate zones aircon even in the back seat. Another extra that this particular car does have is the panoramic roof, which allows for a tilt function but not full opening, but it does give you, of course, that extra lighting, that extra feeling of room, of space, that really, to me, is such a lovely, comfortable feeling. Overall, well, you are in the extreme luxury market, and you're certainly paying a price for it. You have storage space between the seats over here with this extra armrest if you want to use it and enjoy it, and you can then also press a button over there and access another little space that I'm sure you could hide an iPad or something like that in there as well for extra security. So you have all the luxuries, all the trims that you could ever ask for. Summing up, there are competitors from the main manufacturers as well in a similar market, and this tiny little sub-niche of the 4-door coupe style, there are opposition, but this certainly is a player in this market. The diesel 3-litre bi-turbo engine is an absolute gem. All the power in the world at 230 kilowatts, and even more importantly, that 630 newton meters of torque, is so powerful, so enjoyable, and yet can be economical. When you're in this market, you have to look at all the players. You wouldn't be doing justice to yourself if you didn't take into account all the options, and this has to be one of them.